Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into Macao, the undisputed gambling capital of the world. Look, we've gone and read all the top online articles with a special focus on our main source, betplace.us, so you don't have to. We're going to give you everything you need to know right now.
All right, let's kick things off with a fact that just says it all. Seriously, this isn't just some catchy slogan. When you look at the sheer revenue, Macao brings in multiples of what Las Vegas does. It's not even a competition at this point. So just how important is gambling to this place? Well, check this out. A whopping 50% of its entire economy is driven by gambling tourism. Think about that for a second. It's not just a big industry there. For all intents and purposes, it is Macao.
Okay, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to look at how Macao got to be the top dog. Then we'll tackle the legal stuff, check out the best online betting sites, talk about that full casino experience, and finally, peek into the future.
All right, first section. How did Macao even get this massive title? Let's be clear, this was not some kind of overnight success story.
You know, Macao's journey to the top has been centuries in the making. It all started way back in the 1850s, when the government made gambling legal. But the real game changer? That was in the 1960s, with Stanley Ho. His empire basically transformed the city. And that all led to the big moment in 2007, when Macao officially blew past Las Vegas in revenue and, well, never looked back.
So we know how it became the capital, but what about the rules? Let's get into the legal landscape, because this is where things get a lot more complex than you might think, especially online. And that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? Is online gambling even legal in Macao? You'd think it's a simple yes, but the answer is, well, it's complicated. Okay, so here's the deal. The government officially gives a nod to only 2 sites for horse racing and sports betting. But, and this is a big but, pretty much everyone uses international bookmakers. The government tries to block them, but it's not technically illegal for you, the bettor, to use them. This creates this huge legal gray area where most of the online action actually takes place.
So while the online world is kind of murky, let me tell you, the rules for the land-based casinos are crystal clear and super strict. You have to be at least 21 to even walk in. Smoking inside has been banned since 2019, and if you want to operate a casino, you need at least $620 million in capital. They are not playing around.
Okay, now for the part you've probably been waiting for. For all the people betting in that online gray area, which sites are the go-to players? Let's take a look.
All right, based on what we're seeing from our sources, especially betplace.us, Melbet is a really trusted site in the region. They've been around since 2012, they've got over 100,000 users, and they offer modern features people want, like live streaming and crypto payouts. It's a solid choice.
Of course, they're not the only game in town. You've also got huge contenders like 1xBet, which has an absolutely massive user base. We're talking over 400,000 people. Then there's BetWinner, a newer player on the scene. Each one brings something a little different to the table.
Now look, we're just scratching the surface here. For the complete list of the best betting sites and all the nitty-gritty details, you're going to want to check the link to betplace.us that we've dropped in the description for you.
But let's be real, Macao didn't build its massive reputation on websites. The real Macao experience, the legendary one, is all about the physical casinos. And it was all built on a pretty unique system.
So you have to ask, how did they bring in all the high rollers, mostly from mainland China? The answer is junkets. A junket operator is basically a middleman. They find the big spending gamblers, offer them travel, and, this is the crucial part, give them credit to bet with. And how important were these junkets? At their absolute peak, they were responsible for 60% of all casino revenue. 60%! They were literally the engine that powered the entire industry's growth.
And these are the places where all that action happened. We're talking about the titans of the industry. The Venetian Macao, which is literally the largest casino in the entire world. The Grand Lisboa, with its iconic architecture, a real hotspot for poker. And you've got the Galaxy, MGM, Wynn, the list goes on.
Okay, so with all that history in the rearview mirror, let's look ahead. What's next for the gambling capital of the world?
Well, the numbers are telling a story of a pretty strong comeback. Gross gaming revenue has already recovered to about 76% of pre-pandemic levels, and with growth expected to be up 34% this year alone, yeah, the recovery looks like it's in full swing.
So what's really shaping the future here? It boils down to a few key trends. First, the move to mobile is just relentless. Everyone wants a seamless app. Second, you've got new tech like smart tables for games like Baccarat, making things more efficient.
And third, the big one, how will the government finally deal with that online gambling situation? That's the real wild card.
So there you have it, a quick tour of the betting world in Macau. And remember, if you want to go deeper, we've put all the links and resources for you right there in the caption below.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. As technology and regulations keep changing, will Macau be able to hold on to its crown? The game is evolving, and whether it can maintain its top spot as the world's gambling capital, well, that's the biggest bet of all.